While on occasion it will happen with AAA games as well, it's typically indie games that will shock my system with gameplay that feels different. When you're able to stack on a visual style that's also distinctive, that makes for quite a combo, and that's precisely what Majogami delivers, making it one of the wilder rides I've had this year. At its core, it may be a platformer of sorts, but since more often than not you'll be slashing your way through stages, essentially using enemies as your stepping stones, it's also very much its own thing. Throw in a story that's admittedly quite weird, and it's a pretty unique party. What's odd about the game is that in many ways the relatively brief stages you'll cut your way through pretty quickly mostly serve as your training montage of sorts. They're a good time for the game to throw you some information on new techniques that you can then try to master and get into the groove with. Whether that's learning the importance of understanding which direction of slashes your enemies are vulnerable to, how to break through their guard, and more, they're just a warm-up for the game's main events, which come in the form of some epic boss battles. It's really here that the game shines, throwing everything you've been taught at you in a variety of ways, and expecting that you'll be able to adapt. Essentially, button mashing may work early on, but especially as you get into each boss's later phases, you'll really need to try to focus on the techniques you have at your disposal and make the most of them. Considering how quickly the action can move, you may find yourself overwhelmed the first time you are hit with some new set of attacks, but once you're locked in, that can also make each victory all the more sweet as they're each earned. The game absolutely gets points for daring to do things its own way, and while some may not end up being a fan of its unique mechanics, if you're willing to give it all a chance, I can confirm that the experience can be quite exhilarating. Overall, my final score for the game ended up being an 8.3, and if you're interested in picking it up, it's currently available on the Switch eShop for $34.99. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this review. And if you'd like more information or ideas of indie games worth checking out on Switch, be sure to click on the link provided in the description. Until next time.